Monday, October 14th, market analysis. Stan Ehrlich. I start out with the indexes, go to futures, and sometimes like the October lows or seasonal tendencies or cycles or crypto or some other aspect of technical analysis. Now, we are looking at the E-mini. And by the way, you can reach me at info@ersignals.com. Ask questions, make comments, whatever. We are now, with the stock market indexes, extremely close to being overbought again. Now, I have been expecting a large correction to the downside. It hasn't happened. But I have to continue to expect this because only 3 or 4 times in the last 31 years have we not had a buying opportunity of some significance, and frequently it's been extremely profound during October. We still have 3 weeks less one day, including today, all of this week, all of next week, and almost all of the week after that for October. And now we're approaching overbought. Frankly, a great combination. I also have to point out that it's not that big a deal. Look at what happened back here when we topped out in July. Overbought conditions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 week later, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 weeks later, and all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3 days, we broke a lot. Got oversold. That was within 3 weeks, and I think we could see something similar. My expectation is a move down at a very bare minimum to around 54.90 below 55.00 on the E-mini. And I'm not going to be completely surprised if we don't see something down around 52.50. But something that equals the lows or makes lower lows than the last 1 or 2 months or more. For the stock market indexes in a general sense, coming up very soon. Okay, so the E-mini daily chart, we're going to go to the E-mini 1-minute chart, and we're still screaming higher. High and last. So if I can get a little more oomph out of this rally, going back to the daily E-mini chart, we will see right now at 73.50, probably 75 on the E-mini, our custom RSI. And then we'll be overbought. Okay, next chart is the spider, and we are 74.75 with a high of 74.96. All it needs to do is pop up to a minor new high for the day, for the trend, and everybody's saying, oh, all-time new historic highs, la, 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 la. But look, we are about to be overbought. We have a gap below today's low, and also in the QQQ, unless it's been closed and I haven't seen that yet. This is a possible upside exhaustion gap in overbought, almost overbought conditions. A really great setup for the beginning of a move down. Well, at a very bare minimum, and that's just the beginning, 565 for the SPY. But I'm really looking for at least 540 and hopefully all the way down to 510. And in 3 weeks, that's a pretty damn good break. So my time is elapsing and I'm not getting the break that I expected. We'll see how this pans out for this year's October low. There are no guarantees in the market. I can guarantee you this: if you don't trade, you don't risk any money or lose anything, but you won't make any either. Okay, next chart is the SPY 5-minute, almost high and last, almost getting there. Just a little bit more, please, pretty please, on a rally, and then turn around. The QQQ is the only one at the moment that is overbought. and has been just barely at 75.02. That's 75 or higher. So it turns our prices custom coding to yellow NinjaTrader. We have an upside exhaustion gap, overbought conditions, and I would love to see this market first thing close below Thursday and Friday's highs. Second, close below the highest close for the trend. That would be Friday's close. Third, and the utmost, the best would be getting below and staying below, closing below Friday's low or more for a bearish engulfing ER red sell signal if it can drop all the way below Friday's lows. And please remember, these things happen very, very quickly, often enough. So fast that it takes you by surprise, unless you've got code to exercise your ideas for you automatically. And we're looking at the QQQ 5-minute chart. And it actually has already made a tiny new low for the day and bounced back. So the NASDAQ is starting to lead the way down, question mark, maybe, in my opinion, could. Let's see what happens. And the 5-minute NASDAQ NQ, no gaps because it only closed like, an hour on weekdays and stuff. But it's gotten up to another resistance area and it has made new highs for quite a while. This is not a new high for the whole trend, which we did get a sell signal on the very top of the market in similar circumstances. Not quite overbought yet. We came up to 73.32 RSI. I just love to see one more jab to the upside to get some other indexes besides the QQQ overbought. Next, we've got the detail on the NASDAQ 5-minute chart popping back up again. Watching for these reversals. I think they're about to happen. The YM daily data chart, we got up to a high of 74.29. Again, one more shot up real fast, not too much, point or two, probably will do the trick and make other indexes get above 75 overbought. Next is a 5-minute YM. Not quite there, but boy, it's going straight up here. The Russell. We've got new highs for the last couple of weeks. Not the same storybook. Major resistance, overbought conditions could occur again. Wouldn't be surprised, but we're nowhere near, not even 70. So it's a little bit less likely with the Russell. Well, leave it alone. Let's see what happens with it. And the 5-minute Russell. Okay, interest rate futures. Just a cotton picking second here. Okay, good. So, bonds. They are right on target. I can't believe how well this is progressing. All of my hopes, wishes, expectations, forecasts, etc., are coming true. I now need a turn back up. I don't necessarily want to follow my yellow lines I drew in about 3 weeks ago. And on the way down, it's just following my instructions is ridiculously accurate. So I am in the box, October. I am below the first support area that I wanted to get below. I am now in the zone. I'm now oversold. I'm now waiting for a bullish engulfing. I hope green buy signal like we got here, like we got at the very bottom of the market. That was spectacular back in October, again, October of last year. I think this is a complex double head and shoulder bottom. One head and shoulder has a single shoulder, March 23, October 23 head, and approximately April 24. Neckline, broken, July this year. Rally, topped out, overbought. Pulled back, normal, coming back to the neckline or half the way back to the neckline, has happened. Normal, getting oversold. expected. All we have to do now is turn back up. If that happens, I think we've got a second shoulder on a larger 2-year head and shoulder bottom, October 22. Little double bottom by itself, but that's the first shoulder. And then you got the second shoulder of March of 23. The head is a head. It's a single. It's easy. And that was October of 23. Then you got your first shoulder, and we're making the last shoulder. Now, it's not quite as symmetrical as I'd like, but the body parts seem to be developing just fine. And if that's going to come true, and we bottom out sometime this month, a little bit lower, but we're pretty much there. Any time now, I've got what I want. In the box in October, that's the price range and the time frame. So I just simply needed to turn back up again. Maybe it'll be the middle of the box. That would be too amazingly accurate. So anytime now. Then the double shoulder, head and shoulder bottom has a new neckline. And its upside objective is a lot higher than the smaller single shoulder pattern. That objective was 140 almost. This objective is 150, another full, huge 10 points more. And it'll take longer. It's a bigger head and shoulder, double head and shoulder bottom. Let's take a look at notes. They're exactly the same thing as you might expect. October 22 shoulder, March 23 shoulder. Bottom of the market, October 23. First of the two shoulders, and the second shoulder has not been finished yet, and not even the low made yet, I don't think. But the first shoulder was in the ballpark. It's April and a little bit sooner than I'd like. So symmetry is not quite exact, but then it doesn't have to be. Just as long as it's in the same, genre, ballpark. Last shoulder low coming up. I just want to get a little bit lower into my box here. It's October, so I got the time frame right for a decline, but the high of the box has not been reached yet, or inside it would be better like bonds. So I am expecting a little bit more weakness. Now, I also have to point out something else. RSI for both bonds and notes have been down to extremely low levels, and that's just in the last day or two, today included. So the last time we were this low on the RSI was way back in, guess what, October of last year, a bottom. There are so many correlations here that look good, it's ridiculous. The little head and shoulder top formation that had a high August 21, and the small little head here on September 16th, and the last shoulder only a couple of weeks ago, October 1st, has worked. The minimum downside objective has come and gone, and it's done. And that was around 112.5. We're below that. Now, if you like the double top formation, which I do, and we got a sell signal on the exact high day before the decline, and we're still short, makes it even sweeter. Look at this. Red just before the break, down, and I didn't know it was going to be a head and shoulder, then a rally to make the shoulder. Then I began to see the formation. I saw the double top. That had occurred first with a great sell signal on the second high. Can't do much better. The smaller pattern broke out to the downside October 3rd, and every single day, except for Friday, has been down. We have not gotten stopped out. ER1 overnight is still short. New lows almost. ER3 overnight is still short. And there's your two green trade lines connecting the entry prices way up here. ER3 short and ER1 short. This is great. And they're on the average about, let's just say a little bit above 115. And our current tick at the moment is 11.26. So we've got 3.5, 4 points, somewhere in that. And our stop is at 12.18, locking in a really great trade here in the last few weeks. Love it. Interest rate futures are behaving just great with my personal psychological, I'm a human being, analysis. I'm going to make mistakes. But the strategy doesn't give a damn. It did what it was told to do, and it's working great. Not emotional. Okay. Crude oil. We have a new sell signal only October 8th. Monday, I believe, of last week. Tuesday? Tuesday. Rally just enough to get ER3 short on Thursday. Small loss on the close. Still short. Came down just a little bit Friday, and today dropped sharply. We're short from Thursday of last week on ER3 overnight. ER1 trades have come and gone. I think one was a little loss and the other one was a nice profit. But we're short 3 overnight from Thursday of last week. Our stop is coming down automatically. Our trade line is tracking the trade. I love it. Next. Now that was crude, energy, heat, energy, another sell signal, same day, October 8th. Something's going on in energies, huh? Bearish engulfing, rallied up for an ER3 new short on Thursday, just like crude, and is coming down just like crude, but we're a little bit of support area. Not too concerned. I think it's easily going to challenge the lows for the trend. Going back to crude oil, the same comment. I think it's going to come down to 66 in crude, maybe 64. Back to heat, I think it's going to come down in the ballpark to 2.09 to 2.05. Now, I'll be damned. Natural gas, another sell signal on top. All three energies. We didn't get enough of a rally to get short ER3, so the trigger line never got hit. We are still, well, no. Thursday last week, it got stopped out of our short position, had a great trade. Yeah, I'd still like to be short, but I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. New lows for the trend down and now oversold. So we're starting to get into territory, price and time and RSI wise, where we might see another minor low. I'm basically bearish, intermediate to long term. I'm looking for a move down in the 2.2 ballpark. Next chart. Now we're going to gold, silver, platinum, copper, then beans, oil, meal, corn, wheat, cattle, hogs. So we got a sell signal a few days ago on gold. It made some money. It came down okay. And then we popped back up again. On a longer term basis, the signal hasn't been violated. We haven't gotten above the highest high. And it totally depends on how slow you want to move your stop. But for the most part, this was an okay trade for 3 or 4 days. We're out, we're flat, and that's that. Now waiting for more signals, but the RSI is nowhere near overbought, oversold, so I'm just going to have to wait a while. I think gold may have topped out, but I really need to start closing below 26.17 in order to feel a lot better about that statement. Silver. Resistance stopped the rally. Overbought conditions occurred. New high for the trend did not hold. Miserable lower on the day close, and that was October 4th. And I said something about lack of closing above previous highs, I'm pretty sure, on that day. So what have we got? A little rally for the last part of last week and a dip starting this morning down 0.415 at the moment. I think there's a good chance this could be a top of some very significant proportions. I'm expecting a move down in the support area, 27. Yeah, down to about 27. We got a small day trade profit on that sell signal. We got the bottom on that buy signal. Next, we got the top in platinum, May 20th. Not very many signals since then, not any, as a matter of fact, unfortunately. So trend is down. Resistance stopped the rally. looking for more of a break. But at the moment today, we've got a bullish engulfing. So that implies a little bit of a rally. We could just come back up to the resistance level again, which is at 10.18, 19, and flip-flop back down. In which case, maybe a bearish formation. We got a sell signal on the top, high-grade copper. Sorry about the cough. So we got an extra sell signal on October 7th. We have almost a new low for the move down. We have almost a new low close if it stays here. I think we're about to make new lows, coming down to the bottom of support at 4.3 and even lower, break below that, and probably down into the 4.0 area. Yep. Copper longer term has somewhat of a bearish trend starting, but that's a little bit iffy. I'm just looking for more of a break. Pardon me. So, beans, soybeans, now oversold. Just barely, but yellow, oversold. At a little bit of support. Previous lows made September 11th or so in that area, time-wise, price-wise. It could bounce anytime. If I'm going to start talking about a longer-term bull market in grains, which sooner or later is going to happen, then I need the market to hold here and start to make higher highs above 1070. That would be significant. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this thing is going to make a new lows below today's low, close well below today's low so far, and challenge the bottom of the market at 960, let's call it. So I'm bearish. Soybean oil is in the process of making lower lows for the last month or so. Yeah, since September 24th, last 3 weeks. And we have two sell signals basically at the top. Now, granted, the highest high was overbought and it was not a signal. 2 days later, and that was October 8th, last week, we had a sell signal. 2 days later, we were able to rally up to the ER3 new short trigger price, got short. A little more rally the next day did not stop us out of our short. And there's your STS smart trailing stop. It hasn't even moved yet. And we already have new lows for the move down. Made money on Friday and a lot more today. Looking great. We're short an ER3 overnight at 43.75, give or take a little bit. And we're 41.90, give or take a little bit at the moment. Over RSI neutral, around 40. New lows for the move down last 2-3 weeks. And I think we're going to head south more. Next support area, 40.70. Next support after that's very close to the bottom, 38.50 and lower. That's where we're going. And I hope we still manage to stay short. I'm probably going to start accelerating the stop here in the next day or two, especially if we stay here or even go lower than here today. Next chart. Meal, soybean meal. You've got a new low for the trend down, and unfortunately, we just barely missed having a bearish engulfing at the very top. Too bad. Resistance area, overbought conditions, broad double top combination resistance. I probably should put another line here, horizontal zone, because of these two highs back over there, but too late. Now, support, not really. I'm looking for a test of 300 down to 290. But we're coming close to oversold. Not quite, but super close. The low today is 25.32. Very close to oversold, but again, not quite. We got a sell signal on corn just a couple days ago. We're short ER1 overnight. And on Thursday of last week, we have another new short because it came back up just 2 ticks above the ER3 new short trigger price right there. And we have a day trade scalp profit and our new short green line, current tick, old short, still short from ER1 overnight, green line, connecting to the current tick. Both trades are working great. New low for the trend down. I'm going to start accelerating my stop if I wanted to, don't have to. Depends on your trading style. Love it. Working great on these signals. No new signal, unfortunately, in wheat. Just got overbought at resistance and then flip-flopped. So we're about to make new lows for a week or so. I'm looking for a move down lower. All the greens at this point. None of them seem to be wanting to bottom out immediately, except we were oversold on, what was that, meal? Nah, it was, gosh, where am I going here? Okay, I'm going to skip that then. Wheat, nope, lower. We bought the bottom of the market, signal at the very bottom. We got great signals lately. So, cattle, sell signal on October 9th. It immediately stopped us out the next day, so we lost some money. Now, that is overbought conditions in resistance. It simply is trying to turn down, but I'm not seeing what I want. I want this to be lower on the day, not higher. I want it to have a bearish engulfing again. I'm not getting that yet. And I'm looking for a top, but I'm not sure that it's happened in cattle. Miss Piggy, resistance, overbought conditions, breaking down very substantially today. I like what I see. Just a second. There we go. Expecting lower levels, probably down to 72.5. Next, 70.5. And more profoundly, 67 down to 65-ish. E-mini, still up there, not quite yet. We have a high, 73.81 on the RSI. We've got the spider. RSI now has hit 75.02, overbought. On the spider, we've got an overbought condition now at 75.02, and the QQQ, two major indexes overbought, and both of those have upside exhaustion gap potential. NASDAQ, not quite overbought. Very, very close on the YM, not quite. And not even there on the Russell. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great trading day and profitable trading to you.